by ending some of the partisan gerrymandering so that all voters have the power to choose their politicians, not the other way around.
In April, Virginia.
Wait, stop scrolling and look at this. You're watching a masterclass in how political narratives can do a full 180-degree flip in just a few years. Notice the passion here for voter power. It's almost hard to believe what comes next.
Out in record numbers to vote yes. By voting yes, you have a chance to do something important, not just for the Commonwealth, but for our entire country. By voting yes, you can push back against the Republicans trying to give themselves an unfair advantage in the midterms. By voting yes, you can take a temporary step to level.
Did you catch the shift? It's wild. We just saw the 2017 version of the same person calling to end partisan maps, and now we're looking at a direct plea to vote yes on a plan that critics say does the exact opposite. Look at the framing, leveling the playing field. It's a classic linguistic trick where fairness is redefined depending on who's drawing the lines. If you're living in Virginia, this is basically a psychological tug-of-war. One day you're told gerrymandering is a threat to democracy, and the next day you're being told it's the only way to save it. You have to wonder if the people behind these ads think we just don't have memory anymore. It's like watching a high-stakes chess game where the rules change every time a new piece moves. Notice how the visual tone shifted too, from a formal address to this high-energy, urgent campaign style designed to trigger an immediate reaction rather than a deep thought.
Starting today, if you open up your Xbox One logo, it quickly transitioned to a graphic from the FAA for air traffic controllers now recruiting gamers. And it says it's not a game, it's a career. And they say it's a lot of money. They tout $155,000 salary after 3 years.
Okay, let's pivot to something that feels like it's straight out of a sci-fi movie. Look at your screen. That's not a game menu. It's an actual recruitment drive from the FAA on the Xbox dashboard. Seriously, they are actively hunting for air traffic controllers in the middle of your Call of Duty session. Think about the logic here. If you can manage a chaotic 40-player lobby, maybe you can handle 40 planes on a radar screen. It sounds crazy until you realize the starting salary is pushing $155,000 after just 3 years. They aren't looking for pilots. They're looking for people with insane spatial awareness and the ability to multitask under pressure without cracking. It's a genius move to bypass traditional job boards and go straight to where the talent is already training for free. It really makes you rethink all those hours spent gaming. Maybe your parents were wrong about it being a waste of time after all. Look at the numbers Sean Duffy is dropping here. 12,000 applications in just 24 hours. That is an absolute blowout for a government recruitment drive. But the real mic drop moment is when he mentions that out of a sample of 250 academy students, 247 of them were gamers. That's nearly 99%. It confirms a massive shift in how the government views skill sets. They finally realized that the hand-eye coordination and rapid problem-solving developed in virtual environments are one-to-one transferable to high-stakes, real-world aviation. It's fascinating to see a federal agency move this fast. They went from a massive staffing shortage to being flooded with qualified leads just by changing the medium. If you've got a teenager who's glued to the console, this might actually be the most viable career path nobody is talking about yet. It's not just about playing games anymore. It's about a specific type of cognitive wiring that the modern world is desperate to hire.
Oh, this will be a temporary redistricting. All I can hear is Barack Obama saying, if you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor. He lied then, he's lying now. If the Democrats take this map from 6 to 5, in a 50-50 state to a 10-to-1 map and put every congressional district under the control of a Democrat who lives in Fairfax County in Northern Virginia, it will be a travesty. It will be a tragedy for a state.
You have to listen closely to that comparison Scott Jenkins just made. He's reaching back to the "if you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor" quote from years ago to make a point about trust. It's a deep-cut political reference, but it hits hard because it frames the current redistricting debate as a sequel to a movie we've already seen. Notice the skepticism in his tone. It's that "fool me once" energy. He's essentially warning that temporary measures in politics almost always become permanent fixtures. When he talks about the map shifting from a 6-5 split to a 10-1 advantage, he's pointing out a total wipeout of the opposition. It's a heavy perspective that highlights why voters feel so whiplashed. Whether you agree with him or not, you can't deny that the historical parallels he's drawing are designed to trigger a very specific kind of déjà vu for anyone who's been following the news for the last decade.
That there's a fair national congressional map, because we believe that it's the voters of Virginia and the people of this country who should decide which party is in the majority in the aftermath of the midterm elections. Not Donald Trump and his extreme MAGA sycophants in state legislative bodies across the country who were ordered by Donald Trump to gerrymander the
Look at the language Hakeem Jeffries is using to describe the same event. He calls it a fair national congressional map and a pushback against extreme power grabs. It's the perfect mirror image to the clip we just watched. This is why politics feels so confusing right now. Both sides are using the exact same vocabulary to describe completely opposite outcomes. He's framing the vote as a moral necessity to protect democracy, while the previous speaker framed it as its destruction. Notice his focus on the midterm elections. It's a reminder that these local map changes have massive ripples that reach all the way to D.C. It's a high-stakes tug-of-war over the very definition of fairness. So, who do you trust on this one? Drop your thoughts below. And if you're a gamer, are you applying for that $155K job? See ya.